Today, I am gonna be exploring one of the most amazing albums from the 80s, in my personal opinion, and it is Tears for Fears song from the Big Chair. And I'm gonna be working on the song Head Over Heels. That is my all-time favorite from Tears for Fears. They have amazing songs, and I mean, it's one of these bands that everybody likes them. And really, raise your hand if you don't like Tears for Fears. I don't know anybody who doesn't like them. And there's a reason why. They're amazing musicians. They are deeper than other pop bands from the era. Even the name Tears for Fears. And they basically talk about how children weren't allowed to cry. This is more in England, but also it happened back in the day. Like, you were not allowed to cry. I don't know if it happened to you, but it was a very different era from what we're living now. And the name Tears for Fears, which I never actually asked myself the meaning of the name of the band, goes actually after that, like from a chapter of a book that Kurt Smith was reading, and then they discuss about the tears as a replacement for fears. And Songs from the Big Chair also comes from a movie that it was a television movie that it was made in two parts with Sally Field and Joan Woodward, a film from 1976 about a woman with 16 personalities. And there is this chair that she sit down, and that's her place where she feels comfortable and express herself. I haven't watched the film, but now I'm super curious to watch it. And it is amazing. Like, I mean, if you think about bands from that era, you have The Cure, you have The Smiths, you have Echo and the Bunnymen, Talking Heads, and other bands. But then you see Tears for Fears, and it's totally a different route in terms of pop bands. But that's amazing that they came out with this idea. And also, this album, in an interview, Kurt Smith mentioned that uh, they had a lot of pressure on the first album, The Hurting, because they had a lot of critics around all the songs and everything, and it was a little tough time. But then when they decided to record this album, they were like, we don't care about criticism. Let's do what we want, the music that we like. And this is one of these lessons that, like, you should go with your guts, with your feeling, and don't think or overthink about critics and what people is saying. You just make music, and that's what they did. Tears for Fears, before Tears for Fears, they were in different bands, and they were touring and they were playing. And you can tell why this band is more a studio band rather than a live band, which they are amazing actually live. I saw them actually recently with their latest album. And but the thing is, when they started, they were not too interested because they find out that that was a little old school, and they didn't want to be that kind of band that you play a lot, you work super hard, and then you make it. They were like, let's record in the studio, let's learn the process of recording. And they became these amazing musicians. And you can tell when you listen to the tracks, every single part of the songs are really think through. It's not something that they were just like fooling around or playing. They were almost like scientists. It's perfection. It's really well played. And when I was actually listening to this song, Head Over Heels, I find out so many layers of sounds that I was like, wow, this is gonna be a super interesting recreation. Also, in terms of equipment they use, they went with the Fairlight CMI. They also used the Roland Jupiter 8. They went with the Yamaha DX7, the PPG Wave, and they also had a LinnDrum, and they used different EEPROMs. Actually, there's some videos over YouTube that you can find, and that's how I find out that they switch EEPROMs. For this recreation, I'm going to be using the LinnDrum, I'm going to be using the DX7, and I'm also going to be using my guy here for the bass. The bass was played actually with a real bass. I don't have a bass, but I'm using the Moog Voyager for that, and I think it sounds really good. So let's begin. Okay, so we are going to start with our piano. I'm using the Proteus one for this, the preset number 48, and the grand piano here. So this is what are we gonna do first, and then we have the other part of the piano, that is this. Now we're gonna record our verse part, and I'm using the DX7, the preset 28. It sounds a little like this. And then we have the chorus part. Something happens on a hill. Don't throw it away. And that's it. Okay, so now we're gonna do the bass, and actually this is a very cool bass. I haven't paid attention to the bass, and this is not a synthesizer. This is someone playing the bass line. It sounds actually very kind of groovy. It's very cool. It's very unusual for a pop track. That's why I think Tears for Fears actually is an amazing band. So let's record the bass here. And this is the first part, and it sounds really cool. Okay, so this time we're going to record the last part of the track, that is the big chorus in the end that changed, the bass changed a little bit, so you're going to hear it. I'm going to record now. And we have our bass. So with that, we complete the bass. Then we have this pad that is almost like an organ, but I want to use the Sound Voices BC that I like actually. It's kind of angelical. Again, I'm not doing an exact recreation, but I think this actually sounds very good. So let's record it. Then the devil is in the details, and actually something really interesting that I didn't notice that existed is this tiny arrangement before the solo part. Okay, then we have the bridge part, which is this very cool sound, and I tried to use one on the DX7. Probably that was a Jupiter 8, which that's why it sounds so powerful. But I'm using, since I don't have a Jupiter 8, the DX7, one of my cartridges, the Misty Fog preset. Again, we're getting a vibe of the song. Again, my recreations are not exact recreations, and even if I wanted to do an exact recreation, I will need to be in the studio with Tears for Fears. And that's pretty much our drum. So we're going to put it together, and we're going to obviously have to do a lot of post-production because there's a lot of fills and different arrangements to this drum. So that will be something that I will do on Logic Pro. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this recreation. And again, it's not an exact recreation. I always like to say that because I know they might be comments like, oh, this is not exactly the sound, or this is not, it's just my interpretation of this song. And I try to obviously listen every layer of the track to be as close as possible. And also I'm learning. I love to learn how these songs are made. And I discovered, for example, this guitar arpeggio that is at the end of the song that is amazing, that thanks to my son, that he contributed to this recreation. He is a great guitar player, so he helped me with that. And yeah, I mean, so many tiny things, but I think nothing is wasted in this song. Everything is, it has a reason why. And there's this, not over arrangements, but whatever it is in the song actually helps the song to build more. And maybe if you don't notice when you're listening to the track, that's one of the reasons why you love this song. And again, after many years of listening to this track, I discovered so many tiny things on this. So I hope you like this recreation. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, on Patreon, you're going to be able to download this. Also, on the memberships, you're going to be able to download these stems of the track. You're going to have the option to have them raw with no effects, or with the post-production with all the effects that I applied on Logic Pro. If you want me to walk you through the process that I did for this, let me know and I can make an extra video for that. But it's up to you. Let me know in the comments, and see you in another nostalgic exploration.